Today, Governor Rick Scott signed a $70 billion budget. It contains fewer vetoes, some of which include special projects, also known as budget turkeys. And the Supreme Court retention campaign gets hot. We get two perspectives from our political consultants, Gail Andrews and Senator Fred Dudley, and politics left and right.
Interesting week.
It was. I mean, he did so much better on the vetoes.
Well, it depends on your point of view. I mean, last year
yeah.
he did $600 million. This year he did, what, $142 million. But I think he's starting to get comfortable a little bit with the people in the process. He's learning who he can talk to and trust. And so we'll see.
You know what I love about you, Senator Dudley? You are so...
There's something you love about me?
You know, I've always liked you. We've always been friends, but you are so incredibly generous. I think, though, that
he's my governor.
I know he's your governor. He is your governor. But the thing is that he really, really gets it now in terms of what he needs to do with education. Look what he did with education. Even though he didn't, well, he didn't really increase the budget. He just sort of dumped some money in there where he had cut so severely. He had his press conference where he announced the budget signing at a school, an A school.
He left the public radio, television alone.
Yeah, he left that alone. But the problem is his turkey business. Let's talk turkey.
And gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. Look at Alexander's $33 million for a new university. Like we need another university. We can't fund the ones we have.
Well, he has until Saturday, I think, on that. That's a standalone bill. Right. Although I suspect the money is in the budget he just signed. But
it is.
It'll fall out if the implementing bill is vetoed. Then that money will revert back in the budget.
I saw something in there, though, too, that I thought was really weird. He vetoed $1.5 million on domestic violence. I thought that was bizarre. Now, you contrast that with the $33 million for the new university. You know, people are going to say, this is nuts, and that's why it popped up, you know.
Well, I think you have to be careful, too, because a lot of those line items that he cut were additions to existing programs. They were on top of existing funding, and some of them were specific to a county or a region or a city. I don't know about that particular one. I did see that $1.5 million. But the definition of turkey, basically, that Tax Watch follows, and supposedly the governor listens to them, is that it's a project that hasn't been through. Well, and it hasn't been through
the process,
really been
the committee. Right. But it happens all the time. And back in the day, you and I have been. You've been through it as a senator, me as a Senate staffer, also as a reporter. I like turkeys. As a citizen of the state of Florida, I like turkeys. When my member was able to deliver for my community, he was doing his job. Now everybody is criticized and so forth.
Well, I think it's
hypocritical.
Well, I don't know that it's so much hypocritical, Gail, as it is the fact we have a tight budget year. And so when you have $50,000 going to Boys Club and Girls Club on top of what they already get, and you're cutting mental health programs, or you're cutting health care for children.
You sound like a Democrat to me.
Well,
you sound like a Democrat to me.
Those are your ears that hear me talk like that. It's not my heart.
Okay, let's get on to, what do we want to talk about? Reapportionment.
Reapportionment, very important.
You know what, there's more going on now than there was during the session.
Right, well, we have two tracks. We have the congressional plan that's in front of Judge Lewis, Circuit Court, who started the hearing, I believe, today on that. The Democrats are challenging that plan. And then you have the Supreme Court, which will hear oral arguments this Friday on the revised Senate plan. Remember, they approved the House plan, but rejected the Senate plan.
Well, that Senate plan was pretty bad. And again, I'm here to say officially on the air, and you and I argue about it all.
That it's a great plan.
It was a horrible.
One is great.
It was horrible, and I'm here to say that we're going to come out. The D's are going to come out with 20 seats. They're going to come out with 17 plus 3. Okay.
Well, I haven't looked at those plans well enough, but I will say this. Let the process work. This is a legislative function. The courts have oversight. Let's let the process work.
One last thing they're giving us a wrap as usual. We're always over time. But what about Atwater getting in against Bill Nelson?
That's interesting.
They don't like Connie Mack.
Well, and George Lemieux and all the others.
I thought they were weak.
That's inside politics.
That's inside politics from the left
and from the right.
We'll see you next week.